Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the University of Massachusetts, Boston. We're so glad to have everyone here today. Welcome especially to the students, to the faculty, and the staff of this beautiful campus that are here today. Thank you for helping me come together to welcome Governor Patrick. Let's give him a round of applause. Along with other distinguished colleagues, Education Secretary Paul Revel, Higher Education Commissioner Richard Freeland, University of Massachusetts President Jack Wilson. I would be remiss, but sprinkled all around you are my colleagues who are presidents and chancellors of all the public higher education campuses here in the Commonwealth. So glad to see all of them here, front and center. You and your commitment are the reason why we are all here today at this world-class public higher education, as a world-class public higher education system, and so we're so grateful to see all of you. I want to start by recognizing Governor Patrick and the incredible job he has done in navigating through the turmoil that the national economic crisis has brought to us. Give him a round of applause again. I say us because all of us are in this together. These are tough times, and our governor has shown remarkable leadership in his work with the Obama administration to bring resources to our Commonwealth at a time when they are desperately needed. I speak for the University of Massachusetts Boston community, faculty, staff, students alike, in saying how pleased we are to have you here today, Governor. I also want to acknowledge my friend Jack Wilson, president of the University of Massachusetts. Jack, like me, believes that public higher education plays an essential role not only as an educational resource, but also as an economic engine, creating jobs, stimulating research and development, and training tomorrow's workforce. President Wilson is a tireless advocate for the University of Massachusetts and for all of public higher education, and I want you to thank him for his dedication to this cause and to our university. Now, when you talk about commitment to public education in Massachusetts, no discussion could be complete without including Paul Revel, Secretary of the Commonwealth's Executive Office of Education. Since his appointment last year by Governor Patrick, Secretary Revel has crisscrossed our state on a mission to understand the state's educational needs and bring greater assistance and resources to public schools and students from kindergarten through college graduation. Even in these difficult economic times, with the strong support of people like Governor Patrick, President Wilson, Secretary Revel, and my old friend and newly appointed Higher Ed Commissioner Richard Freeland, we at the University of Massachusetts Boston and at other campuses and colleges across the state have much to be hopeful about. And I know that at a time when more and more students and families are looking toward public colleges and universities, we will not only meet their demand for high quality education, but we work to exceed their expectations. Now, I want you to welcome to the podium Massachusetts Secretary of Education, Paul Revel. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a dangerous place to be on the program following Chancellor Motley. But I'm thrilled to be here. I'm delighted to have this opportunity, first of all, to acknowledge our partners in the work of building a world-class public higher education system in Massachusetts, Commissioner Freeland, President Wilson, Chairman Desmond, Chairman Manning. I want to say thank you to our colleagues in higher education, to the presidents and chancellors who are with us today. This is a singular moment in the history of higher education, both what we celebrate today and in general, this coming together of the multiple sectors in education to build a seamless pre-K through graduate education program to serve our students comprehensively and to prepare all of them for success. That's the challenge that the governor's given to us in the Executive Office of Education, and we're fortunate to have the kind of leaders that are represented in the audience today to work with us on this. The announcement we're celebrating today is like a lot of announcements that are happening all around the country on the subject of higher education, on the subject of K-12 education, even on the subject of early childhood education. And the reason these announcements are being made is a few insightful governors, we're proud to say, led by our own governor, Deval Patrick, saw early on in this discussion of a Recovery Act the need to think about our education infrastructure as critical a component to this nation's future, to this nation's infrastructure, as roads and bridges and other important elements of an infrastructure system. Governor Patrick and his colleagues argued persuasively with the new president, with the Congress, and as a result, we have this celebration today and a massive commitment on behalf of the federal government to give us resources with which to prevent the kind of erosion that could easily have happened to our system of education here in Massachusetts, and also to give us an opportunity to move forward on our improvement agenda, on our reform agenda, to make progress in spite of the economic circumstances that we face. So our announcement here today is indicative of the primacy of higher education in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the centrality of higher education, not only in the lives of our students, so many of whom are here today, but in the economic future of this Commonwealth. The announcement today fits into a larger set of announcements in the K-12 sphere in early childhood that are going to stem the bleeding, really, that are as a result of our having a revenue shortfall in the Commonwealth. It won't be a panacea. It won't fill all the budget holes that have been created by current circumstances, but it's going to enable us to get our feet on the ground and to move forward in spite of the circumstances. It won't be a substitute for some of the tough decisions that I know many of you have been contemplating in terms of working better, working more effectively, working smarter, but it will give us the resources and the strength to move ahead. So it's now my pleasure to be able to introduce our governor, who is leading us in very difficult times. These are difficult times when the economy goes down in the way it has. The governor is at the pinpoint, at the forefront, and in the vanguard, and we are fortunate to have as our leader now a national leader, a national advocate for education, Governor Deval Patrick.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to first thank Secretary Revel for his wonderful leadership in these very trying times, and his leadership on education for a very, very long time now, from pre-K right up through higher ed. I want to thank and acknowledge Commissioner Freeland, who is here, for his willingness to join the team and help us navigate through these, all of us, navigate through these very difficult times. I want to acknowledge and thank the president of the university, who is here on the podium with me, Jack Wilson, who's been a great partner in all of our efforts around education and economic development, and acknowledge all of the presidents and other educational leaders here, and most especially Keith Motley, who is an extraordinary leader. And by the way, I appreciate the nice, warm welcome he always gives me, and you always give me, here at UMass Boston. I realize that for some of you it was a surprise to find I was here while he was talking to me, because he was standing in front of me and you didn't know that I was here. But I am, in some ways, I think so many of us stand in Keith Motley's shadow. I thank you, Keith, for your leadership, and I thank you and the members of the faculty and staff and all of the students for the very warm welcome here today. I don't have to tell any of you that these are extraordinarily difficult times. The economy is hurting or placing in uncertainty every individual, every family, every business in the Commonwealth. I think the times are also reminding us just how interconnected we are, how what happens in one sector of the economy affects others, how a neighbor's struggle turns into a neighborhood's struggle, how we rise or we fall together. In times like these, the mission of state government is absolutely clear, and that is to do everything we can to secure our economic future and to build and secure opportunity for all of you in any way that we can. We can't do everything, but we have to do everything that we can. Higher education is not immune from the budget crisis, as you all know. Unfortunately, we can't avoid every difficult decision in higher education, even with the help of the federal recovery funds. But thanks to those funds, we can soften the blow. So I'm very pleased to announce today that if the legislature adopts our proposal on House 1, we are committing $162 million to restore higher education funding levels to fiscal year 2009 levels. Now, let me tell you what that means. For students, that means no $1,500 fee. For faculty and staff, that means fewer layoffs. That means fewer reductions in programs. That means holding it together while we get through to better times. And this money is available for every public college and university in this Commonwealth as an expression of our confidence in you, the institutions and the people and the students of these great educational facilities in building our future together. The federal package also includes financial support to students through increases in the Pell Grant program and also work-study funding. Pell Grant funding will raise the maximum grant for students attending colleges in the Commonwealth from $4,700 and change to $5,350 and will help an additional 85,000 low-income students pay for college. Also good news. There is another $9 million available over the next 2 years for work-study programs at public colleges and universities, adding to the $45 million that we currently receive every year. Massachusetts public colleges and universities are also well-positioned to receive funding for an array of research programs in science, in health, in energy, and agriculture available through the stimulus package, including funds to support construction and modernization of research facilities as well. And we project that these federal funds will allow the University of Massachusetts, as I said, to rescind its $1,500 fee increase announced last month. That is good news again for students. Now, let's be clear. This is not a panacea. This is not going to solve all of our issues. It's not going to relieve us or let us off the hook from some tough decisions that we must all make and make together. But taken together, these are the kinds of investments that in our long term, over the long term, will make a difference for all of us. I'm counting on all of you to bring the best that you have and the best that you are to meeting the challenges that we face. And we will meet them together. I'm confident that if you bring that and we work together, we will be stronger when we cycle out of this and have a lot more to celebrate then. God bless you all, and thank you for having me today.